Hey guys, 1,000 subscribers, we finally made it. Super excited to finally hit 1,000 subscribers, and I just want to say thank you all for helping me reach that goal. I've been wanting to reach that goal for since I started Cadenza, and so I'm super excited to reach it, and I'm hoping this celebration will be a great way to show my thank you to you guys. So I hope you like it. It's a little long. The Q&A is pretty long. I honestly didn't think it was going to be that long, but I probably should have put a limit on the amount of questions, but we got a lot of good questions. I tried to answer them in as most detail, and then also before that I go over an FLP of one of my songs and a studio tour. So you guys, hope you like that, and just thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. Can't thank you enough. Alright guys, here's the studio tour portion of the 1K subscriber special. And I'll start off with the environment. Pretty cool environment. Kind of a small room, which isn't much of a problem acoustic-wise, but you know, if it is, I'll just use some headphones. A cool view. So I'll start off with my studio monitors. I have the KRK Rocket 5s. I believe they are the 3rd generation. Overall, they're really good speakers. I haven't had any noticeable problems with them yet. I've had them for about 2 years. I would say that they are a bit lacking on the low end, but other than that, I haven't really seen anything wrong with them, or heard anything wrong with them. I heard that the Rocket 8s are a little better with the low end, but it's, you know, if you have a bigger room, I would definitely get the 8s, but I would recommend these. Great monitors. So next, I'll go to the Foursquare audio card. It is a Scarlett 2i2. Basically, I just use this to connect my laptop to the studio monitors. It reduces latency, and overall sound quality definitely improves from just the audio jack straight out of the laptop. Also, you can plug in your headphones as well in the front, and then it has 2 plugins for the mics if you need to record 2 things at once. They also have one where you can plug in 4 of them at once, but I didn't really see the need to get that one. Overall, great sound quality. So next, I have my headphones. And these headphones are amazing. I've had them for about, I want to say, about 1.5 years now. And they're just, I've used them in every song. They are the AKG K240s. And they're just probably the best headphones for the price, even not studio wise. They were about $100 when I got them. They're probably cheaper now, but they were really flat, a little lacking on the high end, but overall they're just, I love them. Would definitely recommend these. I did have to get a replacement cable because I broke this, because I don't have a case for my headphones. But overall, great headphones. So I think next I'll go. This is my microphone, and I don't use it too much. I wish I used it more. But it is a Blue Yeti. Overall, great sound quality. Really good for the price. I was conflicted whether to buy this or the Snowball, and I'm glad I went with this, because I've heard people really like this over the Snowball, and I've heard some of the Snowball's recordings, and this is definitely a lot better. At least in my opinion. I mean, you might have other opinions. But, alright, let's see. This is my mouse. I love it. I don't know, some people like mice like this, some people like the ones that are like flat, more flat. But I got like the crawl grip is what they call it, I think. Boring mouse pad. Let's see, this is the coolest thing. So, one day, I got bored, and I was going through some of my old stuff, and I found a little circuit board called an Arduino. I don't know if any of you know what that is, but it's like a programmable circuit board that you can program it to do stuff. So I was looking for stuff to do, and I stumbled upon a MIDI controller. So I thought, oh wow, that's a really good idea. So I went down to the Radio Shack, bought some parts. I had to ship these knobs and these buttons in, but eventually, after a lot of hard work, I finally made my own MIDI controller, which is pretty cool. I've been into like electrical engineering type stuff for a while, but this was the first project that really I got in depth with it, and it was, I don't know, I had a lot of fun making it. I don't really use it now. I don't, because I have to run it through a couple programs to get, because it doesn't put out MIDI, it puts out serial. So it can be problematic, it has a lot of latency, but I think it's just cool. Cool to have. I had a lot of fun making it, so it was worth it. Now for this is a Newmark Total Control. I don't really use it too much as a DJ deck, but every now and then I'll use it as a MIDI controller. Now, the reason I don't use it as a DJ deck is because these 3 buttons, along with this one, don't work. And that was probably my fault. I bought it off eBay for 30 bucks thinking it was perfect, but I still think it was worth it because I use it now for MIDI, and you can use these, link them to faders in FL Studio. And I'll use it every now and then, just if I just quickly link it to a fader. But overall, pretty cool. I would definitely just recommend a cheap MIDI controller if you're producing, just starting out. But yeah. Next we have my MIDI keyboard. This was just fairly cheap. Actually, it wasn't. It was about 70 bucks. Yamaha YTP 240. It's not my favorite, honestly. I think I could have gotten something a lot better for the price, but you know, it does MIDI. It doesn't do velocity. It's not velocity controlled, but it does MIDI. So that's all I can say. It does. I don't really like the keys. I feel like it kind of has that cheap plastic feel to it. So I would not recommend this. For about 100 bucks, you can get something way better. But it gets the job done, and I'll use it every now and then when I'm either bored or just stumped and can't come up with a melody straight out of FL Studio. Alright, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, this thing. Again, I like to make things, so one day it was like an online tutorial on how to make something like this, and I thought, oh wow, that'd be really cool if I made it into a musical note or something. So I got the idea, and I cut some wood, made this into the shape, cut out a piece of plexiglass, spray painted some, can't even remember what it was something on here, made a cool little musical note, and then put some LEDs under there. I think that's about it. I have my studio decorations, Tentakitty. I got that at Denver Comic Con. It was pretty cool. And then Princess Luna plushie. I as well got that at Denver Comic Con. I think that's about it for hardware. So I'll show you guys in FL Studio and what I got going down in there.
Hey guys, so basically what I wanted to do was show you guys around one of my FLPs of the projects I was working on. I was going to show you guys some of my new projects, but I figured by the time I was actually done like editing this special, I'd probably already have them released. So I figured it'd just be better to show you one of my old projects. And, I figured the best one to do this for would probably be Timeless. It was originally actually called Node. I bet you can't guess why it was called that. But I figured I'd just show you this one because it's not really my style. It was more Alan Walker style-y, so I figured, I don't got much to lose. So bear with me. As you can see, the CPU is not doing so well. I have to use my line-out drivers instead of my ASIO drivers. And I'm also, recording stuff, so we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it works. Oh shit, that's not mine. Yeah, so as you can see, with this track in particular, I just kind of had some of Alan's tracks to, reference. but I'm not sure why that's not playing. Oh shit, probably shouldn't be playing that. Oh, it was solid. So we can probably get rid of that. So what we got is we're gonna crash the CPU right now. Oh yeah, that's not gonna happen. So I figure the best thing for you to do is probably listen to this song first, and then I'll go through the individual parts and what I got going on. So, first thing I have is the Nova pluck, which is used in various songs you probably know of. It's just a Nexus preset, and what do I have on it? I have just sidechain. I probably added the reverb and whatnot in here, but all I got is sidechain, and then I got a pad going, which is also Nexus. I'm pretty sure this whole FLP is probably Nexus. And then I got some, a downlifter, and that's how that goes. And then the first lead to come in is this lead. Gosh, even the individual tracks glitch. Okay, so what this is just K391 preset electro lead. Pretty simple. I have some, reverbs and EQ on it. Not much. Let's see. Then comes the biggest part of this track, the bass pad, which is pretty much what the entire track. As you can see, I got a lot of stuff on it. And it does not want to play nice with me right now. Here, maybe if I take this off. Not even then. No, not you. Well, you pretty much get the idea. The bass pad, again, one of K391's presets. And then basically the song builds up. Then we have the Alan Walker preset. We have two of them, a different octave apart. They're just, again, another Nexus preset. Then after that, we have the, breakdown type thingy with the snare. Oh gosh. And then we have, the build up and then the drop. So pretty much the same thing, just the cutoff on the bass pad is going up somewhere around here. Yeah, down here. We have various effects, a little pitch thing. I used to make my own pitch thing, but this one just fit perfect with this song. Let's see, we got some fills of some sort. Yeah, that's pretty much what that is. When the drop hits, we got the sub bass going. I'm not sure if I EQ'd the sub. Yeah, of course I did. But pretty simple. Sub bass has heavy sidechain on it. I think I just used Kickstart to sidechain this whole track instead of peak filters. So then we go into the after the drop, and it's pretty much just repeats the entire track, except I have this, which is interesting. It is this playing? Yeah, it's just an ambient pad. Just a pad. Then we have a guitar pluck, which is, it's a gypsy. Yep. So we pretty much have that, and then it goes back into the drop and repeats the same process. Not a very complicated song. Again, we have these weird, this pluck pattern, you see it in DJ Splash type style songs. Alan Walker used it in Fade. It's in a lot of techno trance songs. I use it a ton. And then the drop, I think I should go over that a little more. So basically we have our Alan Walker lead in the drop. We have our K391 melody. K391. I misspelled it. Our bass pad. Our sub bass. And then I had some detuned leads, which are just some various detuned leads. This is probably why I'm getting spam fucked. Again, just some super simple stuff. Yeah, like this one isn't even playing. But we have a couple. We have, let's see, Spectre lead. Kind of makes you wonder where other producers get their names from. Apparently I have 2 of them. That's weird. Just simple, very simple saws. Lots of nexus. And that's pretty much all of this. That's consists of the entire song. Again, we have quite a bit of automation and then quite a bit of these sweeps and whatnot. So then on the mixer track, let's see, I got, compressors. I put a sound godizer on the kick. Oh my gosh. Can't believe I did that. Sound godizer, EQ, some simple basic compression. I'm not sure if I used, it was a layered kick, so there was a couple others in there. But really pretty. Looks complicated, but actually this was an extremely simple song. It was just a lot of fine tuning to get it right. So I think that's about it, really. Did I miss anything? As you can see, I have all my referencing songs, like this one, which is basically what this song was based off of. For those of you who don't know, this song was pretty much based off of Alan Walker's Spectre. Yeah. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Nighthawk114 asks 4 questions. First one being, what is your favorite genre of all time? I'm gonna have to go with trance. I like uplifting trance, a state of trance radio episodes. I like hard trance. I like the more trance type of hands up, the old techno trance, DJ Splash kind of. I don't know. I just love the melodies that are in trance. It's just my favorite. Question 2: are you wanting to start selling your music like on Spotify and iTunes? And if so, how close are you? I actually already have some of my songs on iTunes and Spotify. I have Isolate on iTunes and Spotify, and I have Burning Skies on Spotify. The reason I don't do this to all my songs is because I just don't have that many sales. I like to keep it free, and then if you guys would like to donate, all that kind of stuff, that's why I have Bandcamp. But I don't think I'm at that point where I can get a ton of sales. But maybe, maybe then sometime in the near future that would definitely be an idea. But if for Spotify, if you guys listen to Spotify, I can definitely start putting all my new songs on there, and then maybe some of my old ones too. So let me know if you want that. Question 3, you obviously like MLP, so how long have you been interested in the show/fandom? I think 2.5 years. Question 4, what do you think of Season 5 of MLP? And are you going to watch the new movie? Season 5, oh man, I thought it was pretty good. I loved that fan service episode they did with Derpy and Doctor Who's. I loved it. As for the movie, I'm definitely going to watch it. I don't know if it's in theaters or not, but I'll go watch it in theaters. Talia Pony 328 asks if I will be doing collabs in the future. Yes, I will be doing I hope to be doing a lot more collabs in the future. So far I think I only have like 4. But yeah, definitely want to do a lot more collabs in the future. Ugly24 asks a total of 17 questions. Wow. Okay, so question 1. How tall are you and what is your shoe size? I think I'm 5'10", and my shoe size about 10. And that's whatever the heck they measure shoes with in America. Question 2, are you going to create any other songs besides what you usually do? I'm always trying new things. I try to make every song unique in its own way. But yeah, I'll definitely be making a lot different styles and different genres, hopefully. Do you play any instruments? If so, then what is your favorite one? I play the piano, pretty good. I took a class in high school actually, so I do know I can play the piano pretty good. Actually, I will show you. So, I think you can still play it. I'm just gonna need to like not use my thumb, I guess. I don't know. Here we go. I also play the trombone. I haven't played in a while, so I'm a bit rusty, but I still can kind of remember how to play. And then I can also kind of play the guitar. I mean, I learned it a bit, but not too much. I mean, I can play a couple chords, but that's about it. But definitely my favorite is the piano. What is your favorite musical genre? I already told you, trance. Why do you have a pony as your profile pic? I have a pony because I make all of my channel art, or I do, at least now I do, all that's up there, and I couldn't really think of anything else, and I'm good at drawing ponies, so I decided to put that up there, and I like to make ponies. Question 6. What do you do if you're bored? I produce music. I don't get bored. Do you watch anime? Yes, I do. Kind of. I mean, I don't watch it a lot, but I will. If you do, which one's your favorite? My favorite is Angel Beats because it's just the best anime ever made. And don't deny it, you know it's true. Why did you decide to do this Q&A? I thought it'd be a good idea for you guys to get to know me better because I don't know why, I just kind of thought it would be fun. Question 10. What's your birthday? The day and month are fine. September 5th. So actually that was 3 days ago. That's right. 16 now. Let's see. I'm getting so confused. There's so many questions. What is your favorite movie? I have no idea, honestly. I couldn't tell you my favorite movie. I've never been able to pick a favorite movie. I have so many favorite movies. Because I like comedy, really love sci-fi, and then I love action too. So, but I have tons of favorite movies, but I couldn't pick one favorite. Question 12. How many more songs do you think you will be making until 2016? I have no idea. Let's see, I make a song approximately every 2 weeks, give or take. So I don't know, a couple. I produce when I'm constantly producing. So do you think you will ever start selling your music? I already am selling my music. When do you think you'll start buying my music? Will you answer negative, inappropriate questions? Yeah, I will, but probably with a negative or inappropriate response. Question 15. Why did you decide to make music, and how old were you when you did? Oh boy. I first off decided to start making music because I was inspired by all the other brony artists who were out there making music, and I kind of wanted to be like, oh hey, cool, I can do that too. And then I started when I was 13 years old. Also, are you a brony? Just wondering, you like the fandom is all. Yeah, I would consider myself a brony, but then again, I don't really like the bad connotation that comes with it. But I would definitely, consider me some sort of brony. And then, do I like the fandom? Yeah, it has its ups and downs. I used to really be into it, definitely into the fandom. As you can see, I got Princess Luna behind me. But I would say it's a little more in the background of me now, because like my main fandom would be music, but I would still am pretty big in the Brony fandom. What is your favorite song you've ever made? I'm gonna quote one of my favorite artists. He said this during one of his State of Trance episode. It's hard to ask a mother what her favorite child is, and Armin van Buuren said that, and it's true. I really can't. I don't have a favorite song that I made. I really couldn't pick one. There's ones I had more fun making, but not one that I like more than the other. I'm sorry if my list of questions was too long. I just don't know over it. Matthew Rappaport asked 8 questions. The first one being, are there any Brony musicians that inspired you? Oh my gosh, there's so many. Ones I can think of off the top of my head are Twitch, Wooden Toaster, The Living Tombstone, Kuroshia. All of them, really, they all had their moments of inspiration. Question 2, who is best pony? My favorite out of the main 6 is Rainbow Dash. It's not so much that I like her personality, because I know people complain about that a lot. That's the part of the fandom I don't like. Yeah, Rainbow Dash is probably my favorite. Favorite episode of MLP FIM, My Little Pony. I'd have to go with Wonderbolt's Academy, was my favorite. I like that. I don't know why it was my favorite, it just was. I really don't know why. But then I also really like that new one with Derpy, I can't even remember what it's called, and the one is in the new season, that one. If you could collab with any other musician, who would it be? Right now, I really would like to collab with Alan Walker. You've probably noticed that I really like his style lately, so that's probably who I would have to collab with. Mac or PC? PC all the way, because Mac can't run FL Studio. Is this a question? Yes, it is a question. Was your logo styled after an envelope? Does this look like an envelope? It does. No, it wasn't styled after an envelope. I get that a lot, but I was just, my logo was made because I was just messing around and I found a cool little design and I was like, hey, that'd be cool if it was my logo, but I had no intention of it looking like an envelope, but I do get that a lot, so don't feel bad about that, because I do get that a lot. Question 8, where can we find your logo? I put all of my art on DeviantArt, all the cover art to all my songs. So yeah, you can find the logo over there as well. I'll put a link in the description. Zidnaf asks 7 questions. First one being, how did you come up with the name Cadenza? Well, actually, it started off as Cadence, and then just through searching, I just kind of came up with the name Cadenza. It just happened one day. I was looking for names and stumbled upon Cadenza, and nobody really had that name, so I thought, why not? Who are your favorite musicians? Oh my gosh, I've so many. I'll just name a couple. Pendulum, Linkin Park, DJ Splash, DJ Ness, DJ Harmonix, DJ Pygmy, Armin van Buuren, Atomic Inc., Origin Nelson, S3RL, Excision, DJ Mangu, Woody. I could go on and on. Those are just the ones I can think of. Yeah. Question 3, what are your favorite songs? Actually, I have a playlist of my top 10 favorite songs, and these have been my all-time favorite top 10 favorite songs forever. They've always been there. First one being DJ Splash, A Beautiful Day. That would be the original. That is my all-time favorite song. Second one, Pendulum, Encoder. Really like that one. Third would be Pendulum, Witchcraft. The fourth one is DJ Electro's Shock Solar Eclipse. The fifth one is DJ Mangu Eurodancer. The sixth one, Bass Hunter, Welcome to Rainbow. The seventh one, Eurobeat Brony, Discord. The 8th one, Woody, Love Thy Luna. And the 9th one, DJ Walks, or Alan Walker now, Energy. And the 10th one, Atomic Inc., Tropical. What musicians or songs have influenced your work the most? All those 10 songs, all 10 of those songs, all the artists I stated above, they have all played a major role in inspiring me, as well as almost every artist I listen to, really. I get most of my inspiration from other music, not so much copying the other music, but like ideas, just general inspiration I get from other songs. I'll hear a good song and I'm like, you know what, I want to make something like that. And I'll get on FL and I'll start it. Favorite pony. Spitfire is my favorite pony, and then Rainbow Dash is my favorite of the main pony. But Spitfire would have to be my favorite. She's always been my favorite. I don't know why. Again, I don't know why things are my favorites. They just are. 6 favorite MLP episodes. I think I already said this. The first one being Wonderbolt Academy. Which of your songs are you most proud of or pleased with? Like I said, it's hard to pick a favorite, but I think the one I'm most pleased with would have to be Nebula, and that's just because I was trying something new, and I had a lot of fun making it, and it really shows what you can do when you try something new. So, Nebula, definitely. Aphic Sky asks a total of 12 questions. First one says, collab, please. Sure, go ahead. Hit me up on SoundCloud, and I'm a little busy now, but definitely a possibility. How do you eat your steak? I like my steak rare. How did you find your style? It's a really interesting topic. I think there's a certain way an artist finds his style, and that's through experimentation. So the more you use tutorials, I think, the more generic you start to sound. And that's just kind of a general thing, but obviously you have to use tutorials for some things. But how I got my style is I didn't really use that much tutorials. I'm more of just kind of threw myself at FL Studio and just kind of was like, what is this? What does this do? What is this? What can I do with this? And overall, just kind of got the experience of not knowing what to do and then finding out what to do. And through that, you find your own ways to do things, which then develop your style and in turn make your music you. So that's how I found my style. And that's how I think most artists find their unique style, is they just kind of do what they do instead of trying to copy what others do. 4, what are you craving? I'm not craving anything right now because I just ate food, so. 5, any advice on how to improvise when you have no ideas for a song? Yes, actually I have some amazing advice. That's helped me and a couple other artists as well. It depends on your workflow though. Like some people will like to start their songs off making a melody. But if you're stuck and you can't make a melody, why not try starting off making a drum loop? Or, start your song off different, or come up with a different idea instead of trying to just make a melody. Maybe make a bass line. That helps me a lot. Usually I'll just start off with a chord progression and I'll just keep going through different chord progressions and different melodies until I find one that I like. And then if I don't have any ideas going through that for a short time, I'll jump on the MIDI board and I'll try, I'll play around a bit. That definitely helps a lot too, if you have a MIDI board and you can just mess around. And then another idea for improvising when you have no ideas for melodies would be, I like to just not copy other people's melodies, but import the MIDI and just mess around with it a bit, maybe see if you can edit it, and then that usually, don't copy their melody, but then, delete it, and then usually, you can kind of get an idea. That I've done that for a couple of my tracks, but the melodies turn out way different, so I'm not straight up copying it. That's just one of the ways I get ideas. Will we ever hear vocals in your songs? Yeah, there's a lot of vocals in my songs. I've done, let's see, Hooves Up was a vocal song. I've done tons of remixes of vocal songs, or not tons, I've done a couple. And then Burning Skies was actually my original vocals. I wrote them, sent them off to Chi Chi, and she was nice enough to sing them for me, which was pretty cool. But in the future, I definitely want to do some vocal tracks, and maybe even me doing vocals. Food hacks. I don't have any off the top of my head. Bananas and pretzels. Those taste good together, I guess. I don't know. 8, food. No, I'm not hungry. 9, no. Okay, and then he asks one more final question. How do you choose your song names? It's different for everyone. I choose the song name usually after the song, but the song name always has a meaning behind it, for the most part. You know, sometimes it won't, like Timeless, that I just kind of picked that one because it was, you know, sometimes you can't think of anything. But usually they'll have a meaning behind it, but everyone's different. Sometimes I look at the picture I have for the video and I'll think, oh hey, you know, a good name would be blah 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 or so. So that's how I pick my names. DJ Noel asked, what are my favorite free plugins for FL Studio? I think my favorite is Karma FX. I use the reverb in most of my projects. It's in there a lot. The second one would probably be Camel Crusher. It's a very good distortion plugin. I really like it. T-Force Alpha Plus. It's a free synthesizer. I really like it. It has some great sounds. The only reason I don't use it as much is because it does take a lot of CPU. The fourth one would be Firebird. That it used to cost money, but now it is a free synthesizer. Really nice sound. And then the fifth one would be Brainstormer. It's just a free VST that I found, and I kind of like it. Enrique Costa wants to know if Cadenza is man? ? No, I'm not. Bionic Q5 wants to know, what is your favorite song that you have made? And like I said, I have no idea. They are all just amazing songs. Yeah. Sean Problem asks 14 questions. First one being, I want to hear you sing. Well, that really isn't a question, but I will tell you that I do actually want to start singing sometime in the future. I'm not sure when. I kind of want to get some stuff done first, but definitely I want to at least try and start singing, see what happens. Will you make a new tutorial? I will eventually. The reason I haven't been making very many tutorials is I've just been busy and I want to produce music, but I definitely kind of want to start making more tutorials. People have asked about that, so I think I will be making some more. No promises on how soon, but it definitely is a possibility, big possibility. 3. How long is your tail? 3 feet? Meters? Yards? 4. 3 flaws that you have. I procrastinate? I think that's a flaw. I don't really have any like major flaws, but I'm sure there's little like things that irritate people. I don't know. You'll have to ask like my family or something. 5. If you can make a wish, what will you choose? Please no answer like 1,000 wishes. That's obviously my first choice. Probably like millions of dollars, so then I wouldn't have to ever work, and I could spend the rest of my life producing and having fun. If you had to go back in time and change something or redo something, what would it be? There's a lot of things. I mean, nothing big. I'm pretty content with where I'm at right now. I guess I could go back a year and a half and make like a year and a half and make Alan Walker style. I could be the first one and then I'd be famous. Or I could go back 5 years and tell myself to start producing so I'd be ahead of the game. But overall, not really anything. Chocolate or vanilla? Oh, this is a hard one. I like both, honestly. Like, I like vanilla ice cream, but I like chocolate ice cream. Just depends on what I'm in the mood for. I'll switch off. Is the answer 42? I don't know. Is it? At the beach, sandcastle or dam? I'm more of a dam kind of guy, you know, just like dig in the sand, you know, put fish in there if you catch them. I don't know. I don't really live next to a beach. I live in the mountains, so I don't. It's not that often I go to one. Is Rob Myeth better than Splash? Producer wise, yeah, his songs are definitely a lot better quality. As for the song itself, I do like Splash's songs better, but that's just personal preference, honestly. But I do think Rob Myeth is better, you know, studio-wise. Did you steal, kill, steal skills? Steal, kill, steal skills. Oh, that's hard to say. Steal, kill, steal steals. Anyway, no, I didn't. Well, actually, kind of. We were in the middle of a collab about, I want to say, half a year ago, and I did take a lot of things from that collab to help me produce more. We didn't finish it. We're about halfway done, and then we just kind of stopped. But, you know, maybe in the future we'll finish that. Do you think a Talla Brothers stamp on the ground has racist because why the groom is black and left out? Okay. Let's see. No, I don't. I think they just, he's a bellhop, and bellhops aren't supposed to be in party rooms. I don't know. No, they're not racist. You're racist for asking that question. What is your favorite scent? I don't know. These questions are so weird. I like the smell of air conditioner. That's a weird scent I like. I hate the scent of fabric softener. I don't know. I don't even know. I like the smell of rain. I hate the smell of wet dog. You know. What do you fear the most? Probably the most personal, so you don't have to answer. Honestly, I'm not. Well, there are a couple of things. I'm not scared of like spiders or snakes or anything like that, but I am scared that like some kid's gonna come in here and poke a hole in my speakers, or crack my phone or something like that. I'm more scared of stuff like that. Not like a terrible fear. I'm just kind of like, but I'm not really scared of anything. Ashfire Everfree asks, how long does it take you to make just one song? It takes me about 2 weeks to make one song. I could make it earlier. I've made a song in a day. Garden of Dreams with Cody Sorensen, that collab. He made a little bit, and then I finished it in one day. Fragment I made in I think it was about a week. But yeah, I can finish them early, but that's usually just if I know what I'm doing, and I've done it before. But if I'm trying something new like Nebula or Heroes or Isolate, something different, that's what usually takes me longer, and that's what'll take me about three weeks or 2, you know. But it takes me a lot longer, and I have to put more effort into it. How long for a album, and are you going to make one? For an album to make one, let's see, an album's about 10 songs, or approximately, and I make a song every 2 weeks, so that would be 20 weeks. So probably not. I could just do a complete hands up one and make with a bunch of hands up songs every day, one a day. But I'm not sure how good of an album that would be. I probably won't make an album, and here's why. Is because you see these big artists, you know, like Skrillex, Justin Bieber, those types of guys, they make albums, but they make one once a year. And I could do that, but would you really just want to listen to my music once a year instead of having it come out continuously as I make it? I think it's just better at this time to just make one song at a time. And I think it's more enjoyable that way. People will be able to hear it faster instead of having to wait for me to make 10 so then you can hear all 10 of them together. And I just think it's a better process. An EP, I might do that in the future since that's only 3 to 4 songs. But I've had plans to make EPs, but they usually don't go through. But that's definitely a possibility. Who's your favorite main and side My Little Pony characters? Favorite main character is Rainbow Dash, and my favorite side character is Spitfire. How did you come across your OC and who made it? Actually, I made my own OC. I always found it weird how people would just, they'd like pay someone $30 to make them an OC. When you could honestly just go on like the Pony Creator thing and make your own OC for free. And all you have to do is pick a couple colors and whatnot. But I did make my own OC. I made it about 5 years ago, or actually it originated from this one OC that I made called Solar Shock. And it was originally a guy, and I just kind of made it just for fun. I'd never really made an OC, and so I just was making, I wouldn't call them OCs, they're just blank ponies with different hair color and body color. And so I'd make it, I made Solar Shock, and I just kind of put him away. And then when I first started Cadenza, when I first put out Clouds that week, when I was setting up my channel and everything, I was like, well, wow, I need an OC. Because all the other cool Brony artists had one, so I obviously need one. So I was going through and looking to make one, and I found Solar Shock, and I was like, oh, I really like those colors. So I went for something easy to make, since I do most of my own art, and I'm quite good at drawing the Rainbow Dash type body figure. So I just kind of went for Rainbow Dash with that color. People do say it's just a recolor of Rainbow Dash, but I tried to make it unique, but overall, yeah, it's just my OC, man. What other things are you interested in other than making music? I like video editing, kind of. I mean, I like editing. I like making my After Effects videos that I do. I like, the visualizers. In school, I've made a couple like films for classes that they wanted us to do. I do enjoy that, but I would have to say music is my favorite. That's pretty much it. I like watching TV every now and then, playing video games, but music would have to be the biggest thing in comparison to the others. What is your favorite music type and song you have made so far? Music type, I assume you mean genre, which is trance. And song, I can't pick a favorite song. Do you like FimFix? If so, which one is your favorite? Interesting story with FimFix, actually. I do like them occasionally. If I'm on a long trip, I'll pull up a quick story real quick and read it. Nothing too big, just like a couple thousand words. But I really like it, honestly, and I'll get really into it, but I'll be reluctant to start it just because I know I'll get really into it. But some of my favorites were, My Little Dashie, Sunny Skies All Day Long, A Friend to the End, Off the Edge of the Map, Opiothesis. There's a ton I like. None of them, they've all kind of inspired my music, per se, but none of them have I haven't based any of my music off any of them. I actually do have an unfinished song though, Hands Up song. I'm wanting to work on it maybe in a little bit, bring back some of the old school cadenza sound, based off one of a fan fiction, which was kind of cool, so that might come out later. Do you intend to do other things in your channel other than make music, like animations, stories, broadcasts, etc.? I do know there are other bronies who do that, or other artists who will post readings of fan fictions, but I don't think I'm gonna do that, honestly. Not just because I don't know. I just don't really. It doesn't really seem interesting to me to do that, and I probably wouldn't be very good at it either. But maybe animations, music videos, definitely. If I ever do one of those, or music animations, or even if I ever just do an animation, this is probably where I'd put it. But I'm not sure. For now, it'll probably just stay music. 9. How long have you been a brony? 2.5 years. Precisely. Nightflyer22 asks, how old are you now, and when did you start making music, and why? I'm about 16 now. I was 15 about 8 days ago, but it was my birthday, so I am now 16. I started making music when I was 13. The summer of when I was 13, and the reason is I was just, I wanted to be like the other brony musicians. I was really inspired by them, but overall I kind of wanted to make music for a while, but that was the first time I just actually, it clicked, make music. 2. Was there any artist that inspired you making music? Like I said, tons of brony musicians, tons of like techno artists, DJ Ness, Harmonix, DJ Pygmy. Those 3 definitely had a big impact that inspired me while I was making music. 3. Do you follow any other brony musicians? Yeah, kind of. I mean, I am, subscribed to them, following them on SoundCloud, but really the popular ones back then don't really put out as much stuff as they used to. So there's really not much to follow. But I definitely, back in the day, a couple years ago, I did follow them a lot, and I really liked the songs that they put out. But as for now, I'm following them. But they don't, I don't see as much content from the bigger people. From the smaller brony artists, definitely following them. People with a couple thousand subscribers, definitely subscribe to as many as I can. And I always see new great brony songs. I love to check out new songs. As for number 4, favorite musician of all time, I'd have to go with John C. Favorite musician of all time, I'd have to go with DJ Splash. He was just one of the biggest inspiration. I've loved all of his music and had a great style. I loved it. Which pony is the closest to your personality? I'm really gonna have to go with all of them. I couldn't pick, I have no idea. But I'd have to say I'm in the middle between all of them. They just have such extreme personalities. I don't think you can really fit me in any one particular. But I'd have to say the closest would, probably Twilight Sparkle or Rainbow Dash. Or Fluttershy. The mix of those 3, if you can guess. Not so much Rarity. Well, but I'm also like hardworking and fun. I'm fun. Jeez. Do you like pizza? Yes, I do like pizza. The Time Mojo Bro asks, what is the song you're proud of so far? Most proud of? I'm gonna have to go with Nebula. I went out of my comfort zone, tried something new, tried house, and I loved it. Previous to that, I thought house was a trash genre. Which it isn't. I don't know why I used to say that. I can't even remember why. I just did. But I tried something new, and that's why Nebula is probably the one I'm most proud of. It's not my favorite song to listen to. I don't have a favorite, as I said before, but it is the one I'm the most proud of. But I am proud of all my songs. Skittles22Z2242 AJ asks, have you ever thought about doing animations and voice acting? I have actually considered that. Animations, I feel like I could be pretty good at animations. I assume it's similar to making music in a sense, that how it works, I guess. I don't know. But I don't know if I'll ever do animations, although I would like to at some point maybe try it. As for voice acting, yeah, I've always wanted to try it. I don't think I'd be very good. I bet I could be good if I practiced, but I really haven't had the opportunity, other than I've auditioned for like 2 things just because I felt like it, and I didn't really put much effort into it just to try it out. But other than that, I haven't really done any voice animations. DJ Apple J Sound asks, do you make only music, or maybe you have other hobbies? I do have other hobbies, actually, other than making music, believe it or not. I like to play lacrosse. For those of you that don't know what that is, it's like soccer, but you have a lacrosse stick. And basically what it is you have a ball in your stick, and then you put it in here, and instead of kicking the ball, you throw the ball out of your stick, and then you also try to get it out of other people's sticks, but you cradle it so they don't. But a really fun sport, only sport I've ever been good at. But I play defense, so as you can see, my stick is really long. It's about, I want to say, 6 feet tall. Dual Blade X asks, what VSTs do you use for your melodies? I assume you mean like the leads and whatnot. I use Sylenth. Sylenth is my main VST. Occasionally I'll use like Nexus or Zeta, but mainly Sylenth. 2. How do you make your melody so wonderful? Oh, thank you. It sounds so fresh and powerful. kind of like when I said in the tutorial, but a lot of it's just kind of experimentation. You just gotta, you find it. It's for me melodies, you have to find the melody. Because I don't really come up with the melodies in my head. I won't think, oh, this is a good melody, and I'll try and play it out in FL Studio. Most of the time, I will just be messing around with chords, and I'll find a good melody. So that's that's how I do it. Do you still use the same tactic to do hands up melody and bass, which you show in your melody tutorial? Kind of. Yeah, the basics, I usually do something along those lines, but each time it's really different. So, kind of. I would say kind of. The very basics, yes, I do still do it. 4. Do you produce hands up anymore? You produced a lot of house recently. This is a good question, and I'm glad you brought it up. Actually, I am still producing hands up. I am working on a hands up song. I'm not sure if it's out yet or not by the time you guys are watching this. The reason I've been producing a lot of house recently is because I really like that genre. I really like, the melodic house, and it's actually really similar to hands up in a way. But I feel like hands up is just kind of dying out, and I know it sucks. I hate it, but it's just not as popular as it used to be, and people like house a lot more, and I can reach a lot more people through house. But overall, I like producing both, and I'm not going to quit making hands up and solely make house, but I do think there will be a lot more house in the future than hands up. 5. Are you planning to join any record label? Yeah, I've had my eyes on a couple of them. I think the biggest one for me is I want to try and get on No Copyright Sounds. The reason for that is because about 6 months ago, my friend told me, I don't think you can get on NCS. And there was a little more backstory behind it, but that's basically what he said, and I said, well, no, screw you, of course I can get on it if I tried hard enough. And that was back when I thought making house was just the easiest thing ever, and I was obviously way wrong. But I went for it, and I ended up having a lot of fun, even though I didn't get on the record label. But that's kind of where that came from, that's why I wanted to get on NCS. And so that's kind of been my overall goal the past 6 months. Not like a big goal, just kind of like a background, what I'm overall trying to accomplish. And then, getting some house music on Airwave might be cool, but nothing too big, nothing unlike, well, I guess kind of NCS is pretty big, but oh well. 6. How to become better at producing. I've been trying different genres, and yes, I learn while I am doing so, but when I come back to a specific genre like hands up, when I make a song, it sounds the same as my old songs, lol. I think I need to do mastering better. Can you maybe do a tutorial for that? I think just to get better at producing, just practice. Just keep making songs. That's all I did. There's really no secret thing producers do to get good. That's just practice. Straight up, nothing but practice. Tutorials do help, but I feel like practicing helps a lot better. But there are some things you need tutorials for. As for mastering is a skill in itself, and I do not think I will ever do a tutorial on mastering. And honestly, most tutorial people don't do mastering, except for maybe the big ones, and they just give you a general overview. Now the reason I'm not going to do it is because there are already tutorials out there that tell you how to use mastering programs, and mastering, I feel like I am proficient at mastering. I wouldn't say I'm the best, but it's not really something you can teach someone. You just kind of have to practice mastering. And it's kind of hard to explain, but once you get into it, you really can't teach it. But you can teach the basics of what happens, you can't teach the skills. And that's where practice comes in. Number 7. What VSTs would you recommend to buy or download for free? I've been using Nexus 2 and Silent 1, but I think Nexus sounds pretty boring and it's used too much. Yeah, I kind of feel like that too. There are some good sounds in Nexus. I mainly use it for layering leads and simple stuff like that. But Nexus definitely is helpful. It has its moments. I use Silent a lot, so for free I would recommend... There's not really very many free VSTs, and honestly, you probably won't get the best sound from a free one. You're probably going to have to pay some extra money if you want that good sound. But I do think Zeta is pretty good. Zebra 2 is good. Massive is good for basses, and you can make some cool leads with that. V Station, that's good. There's a lot of VSTs. You kind of just gotta find one. You know, try out some demos. Really, they're all pretty much the same. They each have specialties about them. So just kind of find what you like about them, and go with it. Question 8. Your basses sound so good, especially in Cadenza Fragment. Oh, thank you. Can you help me make a bass sound better, and what VSTs do you suggest for basses? Actually, funny enough, Cadenza Fragment was a Nexus bass. I'm kidding. It was probably a Silent bass. But for basses, really any synthesizer will work. V Station I've heard was good. I don't use it. I use Silent mainly for my basses. Sometimes Massive, and then sometimes Nexus. As for basses, to make them sound good, really you just kind of have to have a bass that does sound good. A little EQing is good, but overall it just comes straight from the bass. So learning synthesis and more in depth and practicing that will definitely help. But overall, yeah. Number 9, do you play any video games? If yes, which one? I play a couple video games. I don't actually play that many video games. I'm always producing, but I play League of Legends with my friends every now and then. Well, sometimes we'll have LAN parties and we'll go hang out and play that game together. I play the Call of Duty games. I like to play indie games, little games every now and then. But nothing. I don't actually play a lot of video games, which is surprising. I used to play them every day. That was my thing, till I got into producing. What drum pack do you use? I personally like Vengeance Essential. Oh crap, Vengeance drums, and use them. Yeah, I do use Vengeance drums. They are very nice. They're probably the best drum packs you can buy, and that's why they're so overused. Is because they're really just great drum packs. The newer ones are a lot higher quality than the older ones, but overall I do use those. I use some other ones that I've bought, but mainly I would say most of my stuff comes from Vengeance. Yeah. Verskaluki Krakakan asks, what is your favorite music on your own YouTube channel? Serious Party.
Parties are serious.
Charmer asks, if you could collaborate with any music producer in the world, who would it be? If I could do anyone in the world, probably DJ Splash. I know he doesn't produce. I really wish he would come back, but I would have to collaborate with him out of anyone in the world. Who is your favorite trance/Eurodance artist? Probably DJ Mangu. I don't know. Bass Hunter too. I like them. Yeah. Will you ever change your artist name, or will you always keep Cadenza? I will always keep Cadenza. I thought about having different aliases before, and I think it'd just be the best to keep Cadenza. I've spent so much time on that. I don't really want to alias jump where I just kind of change my alias every couple songs. I don't know why people do that, but I think I have a pretty good fan base here, and I want to keep it going. Will you ever sing in your songs? Yes, I will sometime in the future. I promise you there will be a song where I sing in it. Nishi Monogarty wants to know, how did you start your adventure with making music? Oh boy. I guess I better tell you guys how it all started, all the way to the beginning. It's a long story, so gather around the campfire, kids. Where to start? I guess it all started when I first heard about electronic music, or techno music, I should say. It started off with me playing the game Ski Runner, which I found online, and then the soundtrack to it was a techno song. And that's really what introduced me to techno music to start with. But it didn't really introduce me to all of it, I mean just that song. But I love that song, and I knew that I would like other songs like it. So that's kind of what got me into Atomic Inc. That was the very first techno artist I liked. But out of him, I really didn't listen to any other techno artists for, I want to say, about 2 years, until I found a mixed tape labeled techno, and all it said was techno, techno track 1, techno track 2, techno track 3, and it had about, I want to say, 21 songs on it, and it was a mixtape. At the time I didn't know it was a mixtape. So I went over to my cousin's house, and they had the mixtape, and I thought, oh wow, that's pretty cool. So I downloaded it on my iPod, and throughout the next 2 years, those were the songs I listened to. All 21 of those songs were the only songs I would listen to. And then there were a couple other ones, but those were the main songs I kept coming back to. So eventually I got curious, and I was like, well, who are these artists? Because the songs got boring after a while, so I wanted to listen to more. So I Googled them, and I found the first one I found was DJ Sammy, his remix of the song Heaven. And so I thought, oh, well, all these songs have to be by DJ Sammy, and that was my mistake, because I spent the next couple hours looking for the rest of DJ Sammy's songs and didn't find any that matched the other ones. So I was really confused, so I kind of gave up, and then eventually, as time went on, I kept finding more and more, and I was like, oh, this is DJ Splash's song, this is Bass Hunter's song, and now I can name all of those songs by heart, but originally, I had no idea what they were. So that's what started techno, and that's what got me into DJ Splash, is most of the songs on that CD were by him. So then, then it comes to where I became a brony. So I already liked techno music, and I'm just starting to be a brony. So how I became a brony also plays into how I started listening, or started making music. So I became a brony. It's actually really, everyone has their own stories, but mine's interesting. One day I used to play Black Ops 2. So every night, that was what I would do. I'd get online and I'd play it with all my friends. So I got on one night, and I'm on the microphone, on the mic. We'd call it on the mic, and you'd have the headset on. And I was talking to my friends, and one of them starts playing this recording. And I'm not sure why we're listening to it, but he starts playing this recording, and I don't know if you guys have heard it, but it's a recording called Save Derpy. And it's like, it goes on, and it just seems really sad. It's basically Derpy talking about how people make fun of her and all this kind of stuff. But at the time, I thought it was a kid who was saying that, because I had no idea what My Little Pony was. So when the video was over, I was like, Parker, that's terrible. Why would you show me that? And then he's like, dude, I'm kidding. It's a pony. I'm like, well, what are you talking about? And he's like, you should check it out. It's called My Little Pony. And so I checked it out, and then I came to school the next day, and I was like, this is amazing. This is actually not that bad. And Parker's like, it isn't? I thought I was just messing with you, man. And so after that day, we kind of got into it more and more, and eventually we watched all the seasons, and that's pretty much how it started. And then, so that's how I became a brony, which eventually influenced me to start making music. So, oh gosh, what happened next? I think I started making artwork. I started vectoring. That's what I did. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's like making art with lines. Vectoral art, Windows 7 looks vectoral, or not Windows 8, Windows 10, that kind of design looks vectoral, or vectoral. But I started working with Inkscape and, drawing ponies and stuff in there, just kind of as something to do, because I needed something to do. So I started that, and I thought, oh, I could get pretty good at this, I want to get good at something. I want to be known amongst the fandom as someone who does stuff. So then, after that, it didn't work out too well, but I definitely learned a lot of skills from vectoring. and that's where I got the skills I have today, you know, to make my videos and make my channel art. And that's also where I got my OC. So I was doing vectoring, and then after that, I started looking into other things, and I thought, well, how about I make music? And I was like, that's a possible idea. So I downloaded FL Studio just kind of to see what it was, and I got on the mic again, you know, and I'm telling my friends, I'm like, hey guys, this program is awesome. You can make dubstep in it and everything. And they were like, oh really? You should tell me what it is. And so I told them, they downloaded it too, and while we're playing, we're also producing. So we both kind of tried to make some things, and my friend, the same one who turned me into, or I guess introduced me to My Little Pony, he made a song as well, and both of us shared our songs to another friend, and the other friend liked his song way better than mine. And at the time, I was like, whoa, how can you make a song that good? Little did I know, he just copied a tutorial that was really good, and he straight up just copied it all, and that's why. I made mine out of not knowing anything. So I thought, well, I have to be better than him, you know, because I have to be the best, obviously. So me being what I was back then, I just thought, okay, I'm going to just try again. So I kept trying, and eventually I just got hooked on it, and I kept making music, and I thought, you know what, I could get really good at this. And I kind of thought back then that I would get like 1 year and I'd have 1,000 subscribers, but it's been a long journey, and I'm glad to have shared it with you guys. But yeah, that's kind of how it all started. Question 2. What are the tips for people who want to create music and are new to it? Like I said, everyone starts differently. Everyone has their own different learning styles. But the biggest universal tip I would say is just keep practicing. Just keep at it. It takes a lot of dedication and a lot of motivation. And there were times where honestly I felt like quitting within the first couple months. You know, eventually I was like, no way, I put way too much time into this. I can't quit. Because I kind of dropped I didn't play any video games after that. Now I don't play very many, but back then that was like the thing all of my friends were doing, and you know, it was hard to drop that to start making music. You have to give up your life. That's a prerequisite. How does it feel to have 100 subs? It feels amazing. It's like all that hard work finally paid off. And honestly, it doesn't feel too much different, but now being able to look at my channel and seeing that 4-digit number is amazing. It's a great feeling. 4. Any games you play nowadays, and if so, is there any way we could play them with you? These days I don't really play Call of Duty anymore, although I am looking forward to some of the new games. I might get those, just for some old memories. But as for video games I play now, I don't really play too much, and I don't play too often, but I do play League of Legends and other various games. But I think, yeah, you guys could definitely play with me. You can add me on League of Legends. I'll give you my summoner name. It's Celestia with an I. But you decide if you want to play with me. I'm like level 25 and I main Teemo, so your call. Jacob Albrecht asks, what is your favorite track you have made? Like I said, that seems to be the question. I can't choose. Who are some people you'd like to collaborate with? Again, like I said, there's just so many people I'd like to collaborate with and not enough time. Question 3, have you seen anyone else use your music for their own videos? And if you have, what were your favorite? Yeah, actually a lot of people use my songs in their videos, a lot more than I thought. And I really have to thank you guys. You guys really bring a lot of publicity to my channel and really help me out. My favorite one would have to be one where and it has like a couple thousand views, but it's where this girl is playing with Play-Doh and like showing off these My Little Pony products, and my song Timeless, and then another one Hypernova is in the background. I don't know why, but I think that's the funniest one. But then again, you guys can use my music in your videos as long as you credit me back. Thank you, and thank you all for doing that. And I love to see what you guys make. If you do, send me a link. I love to watch all your stuff. Because then I don't see it unless you send me a link. Top 5 favorite genres. That's a good one. I'd have to say trance, drum and bass, instrumental, then house, then dance. Before house used to be on the bottom, but now I do like house a lot more recently. Top 5 or more favorite musicians. I said them before, but I think my top 5 would have to be DJ Splash, Pendulum, Armin van Buuren, S3RL, and then Woody. How did you become part of the fandom? Like I said in my story, you can thank Call of Duty for that. Do you ever plan or have in the making an EP or album? If yes, do you plan for it to be a free download and to have it only available on platforms? Right now I do not have an album or EP in the making. Right now I'm just pumping out singles. But if I do ever make an album or EP, I'm not sure. I can't really say now if it will be free or not, but I'm guessing it'll probably be free. Number 8, what inspires you the most, making music-wise or in general? That's really a tough one, because I'm inspired by so many things. You know, My Little Pony is only a fraction of what I'm inspired by. I live in the mountains, so I'm very inspired by the mountains. Beautiful scenery, really anything. I'm inspired by other musicians, other songs. Other music is a very big inspiration to me. Not so much copying other people's music, but just, it motivates me to want to make my own music. And so I do get my inspiration from a lot of different places. Christian Tolley asks, are you going to one day go to an MLP convention? It would be so cool to meet you at BronyCon. Yeah, I really want to go to a convention. I've never been to one. I've been to Denver Comic-Con once, and I had so much fun there. But I really, either this year or next year, I want to go to BronyCon. I'm trying to make it happen within the next year or the next 2 years. I will tell you guys if I'm going to BronyCon. I would definitely like to meet some of my fans, see what you guys are like in person. But I'm trying, there are 2 places I really want to go. BronyCon and then EDC. And I live pretty close to Vegas, so that one would be a lot easier than going to BronyCon. But BronyCon, I will want to go to a convention someday. Pika Wubbs asks, which artist got you into making music? There were a lot of artists. DJ Splash pretty much inspired me to make Hands Up and the type of music I made. There were a lot of Brony artists who inspired me to actually start making music, and actually got me into it. And then there, Alan Walker inspired me to make house, kind of. But yeah. Question 2. What is your opinion on pirating music plugins, DAWs, and anything in general? This is a really tough question, and I'm not sure where I stand on it, because I don't condone pirating your music or your plugins, but I know, I'm right there with you. I know exactly why you would pirate it, and it's really just a tough situation, honestly, because it's so easy to pirate. I'm gonna be honest. I pirated FL Studio, but eventually I pirated it when I first got it. I didn't get the demo, or I did get the demo version, but later that day I pirated it. And I'm glad I did, because if I hadn't have pirated FL Studio, I probably wouldn't have been where I was right now. But then later, I eventually bought FL Studio. I bought it in the box, and now I use my own licensed version of FL Studio. But, it's really complicated, because I know it's bad, but then again, if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have been where I was. So I don't have a solid position on pirating music or plugins. And most of the music I listen to is free anyway, NCS, stuff like that. I rarely ever buy anything off iTunes. If you like Pokemon, question 3, do you like Pokemon, and if you do, which one is your fave? Oh my gosh, Pokemon was the shit back in the day. I used to play that and Sonic the Hedgehog were my games when I was a kid. I had a stacked team full of level 100s. And I wasn't the smartest kid, so they were all fire and dragon types, and I'd just get crushed by my friends who had all the water types and stuff. But I'd have to say my favorite one would be Rayquaza, or Rayquaza. I don't really know how to pronounce it. But that was the first Pokemon I got to level 100. But yeah, it's been so long. I kind of want to play that game now. Who got you into MLP? You can thank my friend Parker, who is also my 1,000th subscriber. He wasn't really a brony at the time, but we converted together. He had the idea, and then we both crossed that bridge together. Which genre do you like making the most? You know, honestly, right now it's probably house music, melodic house. But it's changed since I first started producing. You know, it used to be hands up, now it's melodic house. And 2 years maybe it'll be future house. I doubt it, but maybe, you never know. Question 6. Advice on getting started in music production. Getting started is the hardest part. Although there will always be challenges, getting started is by far the biggest challenge in producing music. And my only recommendation is to just throw yourself at it. Learn the basics first. Learn what an oscillator does, what a filter does, learn what your compressor does, the threshold, the ratio, all that kind of stuff. And then you can learn how to use it. Because once you know what it does, then you'll know, am I using this properly, am I not? Because there's so many people who just slap stuff like sausage fattener and sound goodizer on there, and they're like, oh, if I turn this knob up, it'll sound great. And they really don't know what they're doing. And I mean, sure, it'll sound good right now, but guess what? In 5 years, when you won't get that much, your skill won't improve that much. And that's why you definitely learn all the basics first, and then build from there. Build from the bottom up. John P580 asks, what is your favorite genre of game? You know, that's a tough one, you know, because I play first-person shooters. I like to play those with friends. You know, Destiny, Halo, Call of Duty. I like League of Legends, but I only play that with my friends. And then I do like, you know, I kind of like indie games, like short little games that I don't really have to play forever. Because if you give me a good game, I'll get hooked on it, and then that takes away from producing time. But I do like, you know, games like a horror game I really liked was Dungeon Nightmares. That one was really good. Audio Surf is pretty fun. But, you know, I like all kinds of genres. Kind of like music. 2. What genre of music is your favorite? Same with games. You know, I like any type of genre. I have my favorites, but honestly, they're all pretty close together. 3. When did you figure out that music was your choice of hobby or job? It's not my job yet. Someday I hope it is. But honestly, I figured it out within the first 2 hours. You know, I instantly fell in love with FL Studio. Because as a child, you know, I like to create things, I like to build things, and this was just perfect. What is your favorite food? I don't know. I like Mexican food. Same with food. I like all kinds of food. What is your favorite anime or TV show? I do watch anime, kind of like would watch TV. My favorite anime is probably, you know, Angel Beats, Attack on Titan, No Game No Life. My favorite TV shows, I liked Heroes, the NBC one. I liked Terra Nova. I liked Under the Dome. You know, those kind of TV shows, dramas. Lunex asks, how do you feel about stealing my melodies? Faggot. You know what? I'm gonna let you guys decide. Lunex thinks I stole his first song and took the melody from it and made it into Nebula, which is not true because the melody was inspired by his melody, but I did not straight up copy it. But you know what? I'm gonna play both the songs and let you guys tell me what you think. But my best life experiences so far, I don't know, probably hitting 1,000 subscribers is definitely one of them. Another one, a big one is when I was in class, and during a lecture, and a notification popped up on my phone, and it said XY for Trance uploaded Cadenza White Roses, and I was like, holy crap, that's amazing, because prior to that, I had always wanted to get on the channel XY for Trance, and that was one of my biggest goals. But then I'd kind of forgotten about it, and then so when I saw that, I remember I was just walking around the classroom like, holy crap, that actually happened. Outside of producing though, I don't know, hanging out with my friends, stuff like that. Techio Pony asks, what is your favorite VST plugin? And you are not too late. I collected these questions late. My favorite VST plugin would have to be Silent One. It's just, honestly, it is very overused. Everyone uses it, and that's the reason I got it in the first place. But the reason it's my favorite is just because I've used it so much. That's probably the synthesizer I'm the best at, and I love working with it. I'm so used to it. That's why it's my favorite. Luxtra405 asks, do you like balloons? I guess. Balloon was actually, fun fact, balloon was actually my first word as a child, but I got nothing against him. 0x asks, why is your OC a girl? Very good question. Actually, my OC as a girl is because I'm a lot better at drawing that body form than a stallion body form. Because as I said before, I did the vector art, and I know how to do that, and that's how I made my OC. Oh, I'm a lot better at drawing mares than stallions.
Hey guys, did you like that shirt I was wearing in the Q&A? Well, guess what? You can get one just like it. I have a kind of makeshift store type thing set up on Redbubble right now, where you can purchase a shirt that will be just like this. It comes in a bunch of different colors, and it's a great way to show your support and just kind of have a cool t-shirt. I did this because, I didn't really do it for the money, but because how cool is it to have someone wearing a t-shirt of you? I think that's just amazing, and I'd love it if you guys could show your support. So if you want one of these, there's a link in the description to a website that can get you one.